Madame Fontanet.
It always happens. Thank you very much. No, I'll speak in English, except if you want me to change language. Okay, so I'm sorry, the speech is in English. I'm so sorry. So I'll do it in English. Ladies and gentlemen, in your titles and function, it's an honor and a pleasure for me to be with you on this occasion of this important ceremony. And I would like to thank the organizers for their invitation and for the privilege of speaking on behalf of the State Council of Geneva. Today, we gather to confront an urgent humanitarian challenge, the deprivation of liberty affecting over 7 million children each year. These children are often invisible, vulnerable, and voiceless. And of course, it is unacceptable that in our modern world, so many young lives continue to be confined and constrained. The World Conference on Justice for Children, hosted here in Geneva, the global capital of human rights, represents a critical moment of reflection and of action. In 2019, the United Nations Global Study of Children Deprived of Liberty illuminated the harsh realities faced by countless children worldwide. Today, we are here to evaluate our progress and recommit ourselves to transformative change. This conference is not merely a gathering of words, but a platform for concrete actions. We are working towards a roadmap for 2025-2030, a collaborative plan involving states, the UN, civil society, and the academic world. Our collective goal is clear and unwavering to eliminate the deprivation of liberty for children in direct support of Sustainable Development Goal 16, promoting peaceful and inclusive societies. Geneva has long been a beacon of hope, a place where international dialogue can spark meaningful change. For over a decade, we have proudly collaborated with Defence for Children International, an organization celebrating its 45th anniversary this year. Their tireless work has been instrumental in advocating for some of the most marginalized children in our global community. But our commitment goes beyond institutional collaboration. Today, we celebrate something even more powerful, the agency of children themselves. The children's rights, or what we present, is not just a recognition, but a profound statement. Children are not merely recipients of policies, they are essential partners in creating change. We honor two remarkable young individuals today, Blessing and Riyadh, who have shown exceptional commitment to their communities. Their stories remind us that when we listen to children, when we create spaces for their voices, we unlock extraordinary potential for social transformation. I also want to pay special tribute to three extraordinary individuals who have dedicated their lives to protecting children deprived of liberty. Dr. Najat Maalla, Professor Manfred Nowak, and Professor Anne Skelton. Their research, their advocacy, and their relentless commitment have changed thousands of children's destinies, offering hope where once there was only darkness. Our engagement must transcend rhetoric. We must transform our collective commitment into tangible actions that protect, support, and empower children. We must build justice that truly center the experience and rights of children. As we move forward, let us remember that every child confined is a promise interrupted, a potential unrealized. Our duty is not just legal or moral, it is fundamentally human. We must continue to create spaces of dialogue, collaboration, and meaningful participation. Today, we renew our promise to make the invisible visible, to give voice to the voiceless, and to work tirelessly until every child can experience the fundamental right to liberty and dignity. I thank you for your attention and I wish you an enriching evening of exchanges. Thank you.
Would now, in presence of Madame Fontanet, ask Najat to come. We were going to go in the podium so that it's well filmed. Najat. Khaled? This is from the Canton, but you have also something from the civil society and DCI. There's a certificate of appreciation, and there is also a Palestinian present. No, I think from here. No? It was well packed to travel. Palestine. You have to show it also. And where are the photos? Emily, you're taking already. I think. Excellent for the posterity. Thank you, Najat, and for all you have done. Then we call Professor Manfred Novak. Can come here, and so it's a. Khaled? The message is personalized for each of them. It's not the same. And it's the same. It's the same. Yes. You have to have all the public happy. Thank you, Manfred, for all you have done. We hope that you remind of this story of the big book that you gave us as a gift. We give you this in And then I call Professor Anne Skelton. Have to leave all the public to see. Perhaps you want to say what it is. The present, there's a book about the Canton.
There's a book about the Canton.
uh,
Fact.
Republic.
The book, I can't open it. Okay, so this is, I have this, which is on the history of international Geneva.
Which they know very well, but it's dedicated by the Canton. But most of all from a very specific house, which is the Canton of Geneva and the Republic of Geneva. Khaled. Sorry, you're not
Yes,
translated.
it's about, it's like the map of Palestine with the olive tree as a symbol for Palestine and the key for the houses, the refugees who was forcibly displaced in 1948. So the key is now a symbol to implement the UN General Assembly resolution to the right to the Palestinian people to return back to their own home. Thank you very much.
Merci beaucoup. C'était un grand honneur de vous avoir avec nous. Merci beaucoup. It's over, so we have to continue. And now the floor is back. Before we have a small video and then to Najat. So Cecile will launch a small video about the anniversaries, where you will see a lot of faces that you know.
We are celebrating the Defense for Children International 45th anniversary. 45 years full of tireless work, starting with support and coordinating the efforts to adopt the Convention on the Rights of the Child.
Anniversaries are a very unique time to look back and to look forward.
Was it worth it? Yes, I think so. What was extremely important, I think, was the fact that we as NGOs got together, pooled our resources, realised that we couldn't have the impact.
DCI has played an important role. Keep in mind that DCI was the first and most likely the only international non-governmental organization working in the field of children's rights.
I think it's that long history that has matured that gives it credibility and that lends itself to making this a movement that not only is it worldwide and exists in many different countries, that is useful for the future of children.
This convention that contained the entire system of children's rights on one document. It's the most ratified and signed convention by countries in the world. DCI continue the work and the support to ensure that all children are enjoying their fundamental rights and the rights mentioned in the Child Rights Convention.
It's a key moment also to have a kind of assessment and to reorient. And to arrive also because if we need to defend children's rights, then we have to build this movement and bringing on board all people.
All countries in the world must make every effort to ensure that the implementation of the convention stop the policy of double standards and hypocrisy and ensure accountability for all criminals against children.
DCI has proven to be an extremely important generator for attention on children's rights, including and also in particular on the rights of children in the context of juvenile justice.
Really reforming our justice system or rethinking the way we deliver justice in this country. Really crucial part of this process has been how we redefine child justice, how we reform our juvenile justice system, how we put children at the center of our investment in child rights. And that is why we have been very deliberate in working with DCI as an institution which has been in this space for very many years, and which continues to work with children across this country.
We need to be very clear about what means justice. Is really to make sure that children who are victims of violence in all settings can have access to child-sensitive justice. To do that, first, you need to have child-sensitive reporting mechanisms that are missing in many places. You need to make sure also that you are working within the community because you have stigma and shame and taboos that surround us so far.
Still, millions of children are deprived from their fundamental rights in Lebanon, in Palestine, in Yemen, in Sudan, in Ukraine, and in other countries.
We know the issues that our children are facing at country level. We have our national chapters who follow up on these issues and also feed back into the campaigns that we do at an international level in Geneva and New York, which also lead to the development of global standards.
If we don't work at the European level, we can complain about the fact that national legislation is not good enough, not in line with the convention, but the government will say, but it comes from the European Union. We are just implementing the European framework. And so we need to be organized to influence that level too.
How you are strengthening the local organization? Because this is important for building social accountability. Those who are going to make change, those who are living in the country. And I know that you have many networks like that, and I encourage you to continue working on that.
In the Netherlands, we work according to the UNCRC. We provide legal assistance to children. We do lobby and advocacy work to improve the immigration law system, the juvenile justice system, child protection system. We advocate for inclusive education and to stop other children's rights violations.
So this is the reason why we have our socio-legal defense centers at country level. These centers are places where children and families can actually come and seek justice. And one of the things we are proud of is the fact that through this center, we have been able to provide justice for thousands of children, including those who are now also organizing themselves as activists. They have their own organizations and they are making contributions.
With the support of Defense for Children International Sierra Leone and Legal Empowerment Fund, we the young people have established our own social legal defense centers in our communities.
We monitor, report child rights abuse cases to the police, DCI, Ministry of Gender and Children's Affairs. And that's why we also advocate for children in conflict with the law to get justice and mercy.
Access to justice has to be linked to social justice because you have more and more, judges are dealing with more and more socio-economic things or social things, and you have more and more who are using, not the punitive or repressive response, but more about life project.
Nous avons le premier centre socio-juridique qui a été créé à Mauritanie. Il travaille en étroite collaboration avec la police et avec la justice mauritanienne. Nous proposons même des lois. Nous avons des représentants au niveau des tribunaux. Parce qu'on nous saisit pour tous les problèmes des enfants, même des enfants migrants, pour assister, accompagner tout enfant puisse son arrestation jusqu'à la fin de son procès. La première des choses, c'est que nous avons ce qu'on appelle le projet de vie. C'est notre plan d'accompagnement. Comment nous allons accompagner cet enfant? On dit projet de vie basé sur les besoins de l'enfant.
We develop a lot of projects, and each time with the idea on how to reinforce the status and the capacity of children to really defend themselves, promote their rights, have something to say in decisions that concern them, and have a real place as citizen in the society.
Child participation first means informing children in language that they can understand. And in the same time, really through intergenerational dialogue. And this for me is really important, to have justice discussion without conflict.
I think one of the things that I would like to flag is the important, I would say, crucial role DCI had played in the movement around the United Nations Global Study on Children Deprived of Liberty.
Without the strong lobbying and also support of non-governmental organizations and in particular also Defense for Children International, the General Assembly would not have decided to commission such a global study.
This office was established under this mandate following the global study on violence against children. And when you are seeing the recommendation and, the assessment made in this study on violence against children, the recommendations are still relevant, unfortunately.
We have this study, we have this instrument that will allow us to assess the situation at national level and also identify what are the main gaps and what should be done. And this comes from the UN, from an independent expert. It's not only NGOs saying that we have to focus on the deprivation of liberty.
Children deserve a better treatment. Children should not be placed in detention of whatever kind of sort.
And we have also realized that deprivation of liberty of children should not only be a measure of last resort, but it's actually destroying children's childhood development.
And we are facing also pushback on human rights and also on children's rights. And it means, for me, social justice, climate justice, civil, penal, administrative justice. And this is very important.
Today, our message is children's rights must be enjoyed by all children in the world without any discrimination and exception.
And the last gift is for the person who created DCI, who is in here, Nigel, here in Geneva. So, now Najat, now you want from there or from here, as you wish. There.
But I will be short because you saw me a lot. I just want to tell you that you will need more 45 years because I think there is still a lot to do, unfortunately. But I just want to really focus on children here and really making, what's made me, since many years, I learned so much from children as pediatrician, as child rights activist in my country and currently in my current position. And I want to tell you many, many thanks because, to be very frank with you, I think that the experts in this field is you.
because you know very well what works and what doesn't work. So I am really happy today to attend this meeting because it's also recognizing the right of children to express themselves through various means. It could be artistic, it could be by being very vocal, by speaking up. And I just want to tell you many thanks for being here. Many thanks to continue. And what I really want to, there is a sentence that I learned from children in the African Child Summit. We need to be seen, we need to be heard, and we need to be engaged. Many thanks to you.
And a few words from Nigel.
If Najat is coming up to the microphone, I'm coming up to the microphone. First of all, I want to say how incredible it is to be at the 45th anniversary of what I founded in which I conceived in an apartment on the Rue de Geneva à Tonnet in 1979, and how incredible it is also to see the people who are within DCI and with DCI who are just continuing and developing what we would have hoped to have achieved all those years ago. Alex asked me to do a quick review of anniversaries, which he already did in the film. So I'm not going to do it. But I will add two anniversaries. In fact, no, one anniversary. And that is of the International Year of the Child. In 1979, the same year, obviously, as DCI was created. And it was that year that really changed things in terms of the way we look on, at children, look on children, and in particular look on work with and for children in such a wide range of domains. I mean, it's absolutely true that work in the 60s, 70s in relation to children was essentially on health, education, sanitation, but not on the more difficult issues that, for example, the justice system poses for the rights of the child. And so I think that we can clearly say that the International Year of the Child, IYC, prompted particular concern for children in the justice system, and particularly those detained in custodial settings. But I'm also going to cheat a little bit, and I'm going to look at an anniversary that will start in 15 days' time. And that's will obviously be 2025, and that will mark the 40th anniversary of the 7th UN Congress on Crime Prevention and Treatment Crime Prevention and Criminal Justice. That was held in Milan in 1985, and it was that Congress that adopted the Beijing rules, the UN Standard Minimum Rules on administration of juvenile justice. But it was also the Congress where DCI presented the very first book on, or study in the form of a book, on children in prisons with adults. That was written by the most wonderful, or one of those wonderful human rights advocates who was on our board, as well as later the first special rapporteur of the UN on education, Katarina Tomaszewski, who was an astounding lady who passed away far too early. So that was where we presented this book, and it's also where we lobbied and managed to get the support of enough states to ensure that the Havana rules, the future Havana rules on the protection of juveniles deprived of their liberty, were launched in terms of their drafting and then adopted 5 years later by the Eighth Congress and by the General Assembly. So that I think is an anniversary that may escape notice, but it should certainly have its place amongst the anniversaries that we celebrate this year. Turning to the competition, as we know, the efforts that have been made in the sphere of justice for children require continuing support and action, guided in part by the global study. And this Children's Rights Award demonstrates once again that certainly these efforts have to be compounded further. I want justice now is just another way of saying I don't have justice yet, and that's what is the motivating factor behind what we're trying to do. I think I can speak for all members of the jury that it was a rather painful having to decide amongst images drawn or filmed that all testify in different ways to the anger, the fears, and the frustrated hopes of their young creators. There had to be winners, and they are, of course, to be congratulated and will be. But that does not mean that the others are somehow losers. The combined efforts of all these children bear witness to some of the darkest corners of violations of the human rights of children, and should spur us to respond even more forcefully. They all want justice now, and we must show that we all want justice for them and with them. Thank you.
And now back to children to see what they have created and to see who won the award. And before going up and seeing the exhibition itself, a very, very short film. And then we will listen to the winners.
First of all, the idea of asking children to create and to participate at the national level and to engage them in this event, I think was an excellent idea.
Fantastic that so many children made the effort to put into either video or on canvas or almost canvas their impressions and their hopes, I think, as well, and their own interpretation of how they see a number of the rights of the child in their lives, in their communities, in their countries.
بسمع كتير عن حول الأطفال بس رفقاتي ما بيعرفون ومنهم الحق بالتعلم بس في كتير ولاد أنا بشوفهم بالشوارع والحق بالهوية وفي بعرف شخص ما تسجل بالمدرسة لأن ما عنده هوية والحق باللعب بس أنا بشوف كتير ولاد عم بيشتغلوا والحق بالسلام بس في وقت كتير ولاد بوقت الحرب بينسجنوا وبيموتوا
each production is the expression of something very significant to that child in his or her context of life, and it's something to respect. And obviously, when you're part of a jury, you have all kinds of different parameters that you have to weigh. But I really want to stay with that fundamental, that you could see that each child poured his heart and put a lot of effort into producing a painting, a video, a story, and to that, it's very humbling in a way.
نحن الأطفال فئة هشة سلبت منا أبسط حقوقنا نناشد العالم كله لا نريد سوى ما هو من حقنا. طفل ولدي حقوق وطالب بتحقيقها ومن حقوقه حقي بالوصول إلى العدالة. نحن الأطفال ونريد تطبيق العدالة لبوا مطالبنا.
I was impressed by two things, really, overall. The first was the very high quality of the artistic works. The second thing that really impressed me was the breadth and scope of the different issues that they presented. And they were able to expand this in many different ways. Some of the submissions were very serious, in fact, heart-rending. They grabbed you essentially in terms of morality and the whole injustice and the difficulties that children are subjected to.
The quality of the work that was done demonstrates, first of all, that the capacity of these children is amazing. Their creativity is amazing. An ability to transpose visually what we see often as simply words in a treaty.
Many of these children have captured in incredibly telling ways some of the challenges that children face, whether they're girls, whether they're poor, whether they're discriminated against, whether all kinds of aspects of children's lives that speak to us in no uncertain terms when they're put into an artistic form.
Children have the possibility of expressing their opinion, of being heard, of receiving information and being able to deal with that information, pass on that information.
الذي قذف بي إلى هذا الجحيم؟ ما الذي اقترفته لأمر بهذا الامتحان؟ هل سأكون أفضل حالا إن منحت الحرية لوالدي؟ لكنني أكره ضربه المبرح لأمي. سيدي القاضي، أنا أحب أبي كثيرا، غير أنه لم يعد يهتم لأمري.
This is a DCI thing, but I think it's a reflection of what has been happening in the wider world, where children have been taking a more and more active part, and have been allowed and even encouraged to take a more and more active part.
هذه معاناتي كل يوم بسبب الخراب الذي سببه الاحتلال. وأضم صوتي إلى صوت الأطفال في غزة الذين ليس لديهم مدارس أو مكان للعيش ويعيشون في خيام والذين لديهم إعاقات مثلي وأكثر.
To all of the children, you are very creative, you have great imaginations, and you have a great deal of knowledge about what you're living through.
Those who took part in the contest, I just wish you all the best, and I'm sure that you will be very valuable members of your society and your community, because you've already shown that you're able to synthesize some views that are important, that make humanity more human.
We want justice. The time is now. Justice. The time is now. We want justice and we will not wait.
I now ask Blessing and Rahat to come here, and Najat is going to give them their certificates of as a winners. And they take this also on behalf of all the other children who are not here, but their first prize, it was that they participate here in Geneva and they are with us. Rahat and Blessing, please. Blessing, Nathalie, Rahat.
Congratulations.
No, over there because the camera is not capturing here. Poems from Blessing first. Blessing, uh, you know these are poems also. We hope we will inspire you for more, even more. This is for you. Thank you. Congratulations, dear. All right. You can also speak from here.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Peace, mercy, and the blessing of Allah be upon you all. I'd like to begin by expressing my heartfelt and gratitude to the Defense for Children International, the International Secretariat in Geneva, the Regional Office in Palestine, Jordan National Section, represented by the Jordanian Women's Union, for their great efforts in defending children's rights. I also thank them for organizing this wonderful competition, which has given me the opportunity to convey my message through art. My passion for art led me to create an Instagram page where I regularly share my drawings. I have also participated in several local exhibitions in my city, Irbid. When I heard about I won Justice Now award, I thought about creating a drawing that reflects the theme of justice for children. And I started with the primary sketches and slowly developed the idea until I reached the final artwork. My drawing sheds light on the reality of children in many countries around the world who are deprived of their basic rights, especially in marginalized areas and conflict zones. Children are the most affected by regional and are the most affected by regional and military conflicts, where they are denied basic rights such as food, medicine, shelter, clothing, and even access to clean water. As an Arab child, my message is a call for freedom, peace, and access to all rights, especially justice for children, deprived of their rights everywhere in Gaza, Palestine, Yemen, Sudan, Somalia, Afghanistan, and every region witnessing conflicts and violation of children's rights, whether in Asia, Africa, or Europe. I hope that my voice and art can serve as a means to highlight the suffering of children worldwide and to emphasize that childhood deserves to be with dignity, peace, and justice. In conclusion, I must express my sympathy with the children of Gaza hoping that the hoping that they are granted their right to life and that their stories are not overlooked to esteemed platforms. Thank you all.
Good evening, everyone. I am deeply honored and grateful to receive this award today. First, I'd like to thank God, who is my true inspiration and source of wisdom to fight for my fellow children. I want to thank DCI Sierra Leone because they saw a girl who they thought could make a change through awards and they gave the platform. As a young girl, I found myself in a society that could have limited me from being on this podium today. But I am here. This is to tell you that I had to overcome barriers. I had to break glass ceilings. And above all, I had to constantly ignore what society had to say about the girl child. This recognition means so much, but it means more because it is a reflection of the power and potential of girls and children all over the world. I represent not only myself, but also my teammate Nima, without whom this would have not been possible. I want to thank my family and people who have inspired me to constantly work for my peers. I believe that if children are the future, then we should teach them well and let them lead the way. We should show them all the beauty they possess inside. This award is not just mine. It is for the children suffering in silence. It is for children forgotten by society. This award is for children denied of education and children detained and treated unjustly. It is for children caught in crossfire and trapped in senseless wars waged by adults. It is for girls vulnerable and abused, whose potential have been buried beneath tradition. But amidst all of this, as children of the world, we rise. We continue to speak for our rights, and we continue to speak for the right things to be done. This award is a reflection of the countless children and girls who are thriving every day to overcome challenges, to pursue their dreams and to break barriers. I hope that my journey will inspire so many children. We're here today to set things right. This evening, look around you and you will see everything that is wrong. But you have everything it takes to make everything right. We the children, to every child looking at me, here in this room and watching me wherever in the world, you are not just a child. You are the flame that awakens nations. You are the lights of the world. You are the reason why the world is a happy place. To children who have been deprived of justice, we are here to make it right. We're giving you access to education through our awards. We're giving you access to freedom. We're giving you access to lead. A big thank you to DCI Sierra Leone again, because they showed me through She Leads that I can actually lead and girls can actually lead. 5-6 years ago, I was a girl who just had the dream of going to university and working and make my pay. But when I came across She Leads, it taught me that I could do more with my voice. That I could get a child to enroll into school by speaking for that child. That I could provide for a family by speaking. I could transform a life and take a child out of the streets by using my voice. This evening, I'm so emotional because lots of children are looking up to us all. And this is for you to take away, adults and children. When you go to your various homes, ask yourself, what am I doing for children? What am I doing for each and every child to have access to justice and be treated rightly? Thank you all. I am honored, and this is just the beginning of the excellence that is coming from children and girls across the world. Thank you. So, surprisingly, that was my speech, but then I have a poem I would want to perform for us all. The sounds would want to wave you away, but you have to listen to the words because it is a message from Sierra Leonean girls and children to the world. They say the world is full of opportunities, but what happens when our wings are clipped? Our voices are silenced and our strength is questioned. When we're just pawns in society's cruel game, statistics in the machinery of blame. The seasons will change, but the abuses remain the same. Civilization may evolve, yet the ideologies stay ugly. The streetlights grow brighter, but girls still live in fear. The rains will pour heavy and unyielding. We will seek shelter, but what if the street is our only friend? When those who should protect us abandon us, leaving us to fend for ourselves, how can we find peace in the storm? Civilization will take its steps. Society may try to awaken. They'll see through boys should be strong campaign. But what happens when our emotions are wild and our world is shattering? And there's a banner outside that says, boys don't cry. Let the wind blow freely and let our voices rise. As children, this is our gospel, our rallying cry for justice. Justice for the girl robbed of her innocence, sentenced to a life of fear, questioned for what she wore, and shamed for existing. Justice for children caught in crossfire, trapped in senseless wars waged by adults, living in the shadows of explosions, wondering if they will be bombed out of existence. Justice for children suffering in silence, trapped in cycles of child cruelty, where homes become a battlefield and their cries and help are met with apathy. Justice for children forgotten by society, fighting for survival on the edges of the world, their dreams eclipsed by hunger and hardship. Justice for girls denied education, sentenced to early marriages, their potential buried beneath tradition, their futures stolen before they even begin. There are children who wake up before the sun and they don't care about their rights because it is being trampled upon. There are children who don't move a muscle to gunshots because they sometimes wake up to one. There are children who don't know the four corners of schools, but that is all they ever wish. Let the light shine on our future. Unite us for society's chain. Break the shackles of outdated norms. Give us the map of our faith's children. A faith untainted by abuse, a faith that embraces justice. We as children from the Arab country, from West Africa, from Africa, from Asia, from America, all over the world. We stand strong, unshaking, and loud because justice is our demand. And we will not be silent, for we are the future. We have been taught well, and we are ready to lead the way. Our generation will change the world. Justice is our demand. We will not be silent. We want justice, and the time is now. Thank you.